Ronnie Spector was one of the most distinctive and unforgettable voices of the 1960s, a woman whose sound, style, and spirit helped define an entire era of popular music. As the lead singer of the Ronettes, she brought a blend of innocence and sultriness that captured the imagination of audiences worldwide. Known for iconic songs like Be My Baby, Baby, I Love You, and Walking in the Rain, Ronnie Spector's career was filled with triumph, struggle, reinvention, and ultimately legacy. Her story is one of resilience and determination, proving that her voice and presence would remain timeless even when circumstances tried to silence her. Born Veronica Yvette Bennett on August 10, 1943, in New York City's Spanish Harlem, Ronnie grew up in a close-knit, multi-ethnic family. From a young age, she and her sister Estelle, along with cousin Nedra Talley, discovered their shared love for music. The trio formed the Darling Sisters, later renamed the Ronettes, and quickly gained a reputation for their striking beauty, charismatic performances, and powerful harmonies. By the early 1960s, they were performing in clubs around New York and catching the attention of industry figures who saw their potential. Their big break came when they signed with Phil Spector's Phillies Records. Under his Wall of Sound production style, the Ronettes skyrocketed to fame. Ronnie's voice soared above the lush arrangements, carrying an intensity and emotion that set her apart from other singers of the era. Be My Baby, released in 1963, became their signature hit, an anthem of young love that still resonates as one of the greatest pop songs ever recorded. The Ronettes' music captured the spirit of teenage romance and longing, and Ronnie's delivery made it unforgettable. As their fame grew, so did the demands of the music industry. The Ronettes toured with the Rolling Stones, befriended the Beatles, and became international stars. Ronnie, with her iconic beehive hairdo, heavy eyeliner, and magnetic stage presence, became a fashion and cultural icon. Yet behind the glamour, her personal life was increasingly complicated. Ronnie married Phil Spector in 1968, but the marriage quickly turned into a nightmare of control and abuse. He attempted to isolate her from the world and stifle her career, but Ronnie's spirit remained unbroken. Eventually, she escaped the marriage, later speaking openly about her struggles in her memoir, Be My Baby, How I Survived Mascara, Miniskirts, and Madness. After leaving Phil Spector, Ronnie faced years of rebuilding her career. The music industry had changed, and the girl group era was largely over, but she continued to perform and record, determined to keep her voice alive. In the 1970s, she briefly worked with Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, recording the single Say Goodbye to Hollywood, produced by Billy Joel. Though she never again reached the commercial heights of the Ronettes, her influence was deeply felt across the industry. Artists from Joey Ramone to Amy Winehouse cited her as an inspiration, recognizing that her combination of vulnerability and power helped pave the way for future generations of female performers. Ronnie's later career was marked by a celebrated revival of her legacy. She continued touring into her 70s, embracing her role as the queen of the girl group sound. Her live shows combined nostalgia with authenticity, reminding audiences that her voice had lost none of its fire. In 2007, the Ronettes were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, an honor that finally recognized their place in history. Ronnie accepted the accolade with pride, reminding the world that their music had never faded away. Ronnie Spector passed away on January 12, 2022, at the age of 78, after a battle with cancer. Her death was mourned by fans and fellow musicians around the globe, but her music remains eternal. Songs like Be My Baby and Baby, I Love You continue to play across radio waves, film soundtracks, and concert stages, ensuring that her voice will always echo in the collective memory of popular culture. Ronnie Spector's life was one of dazzling highs and devastating lows, but above all, it was a story of survival. She stood as a symbol of resilience, a woman who refused to be silenced, and an artist whose voice became the heartbeat of a generation. To this day, she remains the defining sound of an era, the true queen of rock's girl group revolution.